What is evil? Is it a presence, a force, or simply the absence of good? Many of us encounter people who seem to stir chaos wherever they go, people who appear to take joy in harming others, spreading malice, and sowing discord. These individuals may not always present themselves as overtly villainous, but their actions, their essence, disrupt the harmony around them. How do we recognize such people, and more importantly, how should we respond? In this text, we won't sensationalize the idea of evil as a monster lurking in the shadows. Instead, we will explore how Stoicism, an ancient, enduring philosophy, guides us to identify and deal with those whose presence threatens our peace and virtue. Our goal is not to judge or condemn, but to cultivate the strength to maintain our equilibrium and inner fortitude in the face of destructive forces. As Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." So, as we recognize these signs of evil, let us not become consumed by anger or despair. Let us strive instead for mastery over our reactions and for the calm, steady strength that Stoicism teaches us. Number 1. They feed on your misfortune. The first sign of evil is found in those who seem to derive satisfaction from your suffering. Such individuals thrive on the misfortunes of others, relishing in another's pain, discomfort, or failures. These are the people who, instead of offering support or empathy, find joy in your struggles. They may mask their delight with false concern, but beneath the surface lies a sense of superiority and malice. As Epictetus taught us, it is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. When we encounter individuals who feed on our misfortunes, we must recognize that their reactions are beyond our control. We cannot change their hearts, nor can we alter the fact that misfortune has come our way. But what we can control is our response. A true Stoic does not let the cruelty of others shake their inner calm. We must rise above their pettiness and refuse to let their malice draw us into destructive emotions. Our strength lies not in confronting them with rage or accusations, but in mastering our own minds and refusing to give them the satisfaction of seeing us falter. Number 2. They manipulate with a smile. There are those who wear a mask of kindness, charm, and warmth, yet behind their smile lies manipulation. These individuals deceive with words, twisting reality to suit their needs and make you doubt yourself. They are skilled at presenting themselves as trustworthy, even benevolent, but their true intent is to control and exploit. Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, once wrote, "A wise man is content with his lot, whatever it may be, without wishing for what he has not." The manipulative person is never content. They constantly seek to bend others to their will, using deception and emotional manipulation to achieve their ends. They are not satisfied unless they are in control, feeding off the confusion and doubt they plant in the minds of others. How do we as Stoics confront such manipulation? We must remain vigilant, grounded in the principles of reason and clarity. We do not allow ourselves to be swayed by their charm or deceived by their words. Instead, we focus on what we know to be true, relying on our inner compass of virtue and logic. We must be steadfast in our self-control, recognizing that their manipulation is a reflection of their own internal disarray, not of our worth. Number 3. They lack empathy. A person who lacks empathy, who is unable to feel compassion for others, is someone disconnected from the very essence of humanity. These individuals see others not as fellow human beings, but as tools, obstacles, or means to an end. They are incapable of understanding or caring about the pain or joy of others, as they are too consumed with their own desires. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." Empathy is one of the fundamental qualities that define a virtuous person. To lack it is to sever oneself from the greater good, to be blinded by self-interest and desire. When dealing with someone who lacks empathy, we must remind ourselves that their inability to connect with others is a form of moral blindness. But in the face of such individuals, we do not abandon our own empathy. We do not become hardened or bitter. Instead, we remain true to our Stoic values, continuing to act with kindness, not because others deserve it, but because it is who we are. We maintain our integrity, refusing to allow their coldness to infect our souls. Number 4. They consistently betray trust. Trust is a sacred bond. It is the foundation of all meaningful relationships, whether personal or professional. When someone consistently betrays that trust, they reveal themselves as unworthy of our time, energy, and association. These individuals make promises they do not intend to keep, break commitments without remorse, and use others' vulnerabilities against them. Epictetus reminds us, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. A person who consistently betrays trust is someone who has no alignment between their words and actions. They lack the internal coherence that comes from living a life of integrity. In Stoicism, consistency is key. Being true to one's word, living in accordance with virtue, and never compromising our principles for short-term gain. When we encounter those who repeatedly break our trust, we must protect our peace by distancing ourselves from their influence. It is not an act of anger or vengeance, but one of wisdom. We do not allow ourselves to be entangled in their web of dishonesty, nor do we seek to exact revenge. We simply recognize their actions for what they are and choose to remove ourselves from their reach. Number 5. They spread chaos and division. There are individuals who seem to bring chaos wherever they go. They pit people against each other, stir up conflict, and delight in the destruction of harmony. Their actions are not driven by a pursuit of justice or truth, but by a love of discord. These are the people who thrive in confusion, who sow seeds of division for their own gain. Seneca wrote, "He who is brave is free." A person who spreads chaos is enslaved by their own insecurities and inner turmoil. They project their disorder onto the world, seeking to disrupt the peace of others as a way of distracting themselves from their own internal struggles. But the Stoic is free. Free from the need to engage in such chaos, free from the desire to retaliate or join in the conflict. When faced with such individuals, we must remain calm and centered. We do not engage in their games or allow ourselves to be drawn into their world of division. Instead, we cultivate inner peace and resilience, refusing to let their chaos disturb our tranquility. We focus on building harmony within ourselves and our surroundings, even when others try to tear it apart. Having identified these signs, what is our response? How do we, as followers of the Stoic path, deal with those who bring destruction into our lives? The answer is not found in rage, retaliation, or despair. Instead, the Stoic response is one of mastery. Mastery over our own reactions. Mastery over our own emotions. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." When we allow ourselves to be consumed by hatred, anger, or resentment toward those we consider evil, we risk becoming like them. The true challenge is to maintain our virtue, our calm, and our strength in the face of their malice. This does not mean we become passive or indifferent to evil. Rather, we confront it with clarity, courage, and reason. We do not allow the presence of evil to dictate our actions, but instead, we remain true to our values. We set boundaries where necessary, protect ourselves where needed, and most importantly, we refuse to give away our peace. The Stoic path is not one of avoidance, but of endurance. We do not shy away from the harsh realities of the world, nor do we pretend that evil does not exist. Instead, we face it head-on, knowing that our strength comes from within, not from external circumstances. As Epictetus advised, no man is free who is not master of himself. In dealing with those who exhibit the signs of evil, our freedom is found in self-mastery. We are not bound by their actions, their words, or their malice. We are free to choose our response, free to maintain our inner peace, free to live in accordance with our own values. Evil, in whatever form it takes, is a test of our resilience. It is a challenge to our ability to remain calm, centered, and virtuous in a world that often seems bent on chaos and destruction. But it is in these moments that we grow. It is through confronting evil with strength and grace that we become who we are meant to be. In the end, Stoicism teaches us that we cannot control the actions of others, but we can always control ourselves. Evil people may cross our paths, but they do not have the power to determine our fate. They cannot force us to abandon our principles, nor can they shake the foundation of our inner strength unless we allow them to. We must strive to live in harmony with nature, following the path of virtue, wisdom, and reason. In doing so, we remain unshaken, no matter who or what we encounter. What are your views on this? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I will personally read all of your comments. And if you seriously want to level up in life, don't forget to show some love by hitting the like and subscribe button. Stay strong. Until next time.